All right, boys and girls, if you finished your practice worksheets, your texture and your analogous colors, you can put these in your folder. And then what you're going to do is grab a big square black paper. You're going to grab a white crayon, and you need a couple worksheets from the shopping cart. You need this worksheet to show you how to draw the outside of the dragon eye. And you might want to grab a couple of these colorful worksheets to see how other artists have used color and texture in their dragon eyes. I'm going to start with this one first. Putting my name on the back. Flip my paper over. It's important to have clean hands when you do this so that you don't get fingerprints all over your paper. And step one here, I can look at this side or this side. Step one is kind of the same for both. It's just kind of like a big oval in the middle of your paper. And boys and girls, dragon eyes are not real, they're fictional. That means they're from imagination. So you really can't get this wrong. If your dragon eye looks different from your neighbor, it's totally fine. What I'm doing now is I'm just putting some kind of like wrinkly eyelid texture above the eye. And this middle part, this little diamond, is kind of like the inside of the eye. We have a circle, but usually artists draw dragons with a diamond. This is called the pupil. It stays black. This circle here is like the reflection in the eye. It's going to be white eventually with my white chalk. So I'll leave it as a circle for now. Now, step 3 says, wow, that's a lot of details. Add some textures now. So I don't have to add all these textures. I don't have to add all these textures. I can look at these for ideas. I can also look at my texture worksheet for a lot of ideas, or I can look at these worksheets for some ideas. So remembering what I drew in my texture worksheet, I can think of some textures. But first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some color to the inside of the eye. Now, my color worksheet will help me to see the color wheel and which colors are neighbors on here. I'm going to start with just the inside of the eye. I'm going to pick a set of analogous colors for the inside. See in my eye here, I picked blues, greens. I'm also going to do that in my example. So what I'm going to start with here is blues and greens, and get some blues and greens that I think will look good together. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my blue to go around the inside part of the eye, the diamond, because that's going to stay black. And I'm just going to get a lot of blue around this area, because eventually I'm going to blend this into my green. So I'm not going to blend it yet. I'm just going to put that color down and let it sit for a minute, because I'm going to get my dark green now and kind of put it next to the blue. Get a lot of chalk. You really want to press and use your muscles. I'm going to use my light green next. Ooh, this is going to look great. Keep that circle blank because it's going to be white. So I'm going to go around it, that little circle right there, the reflection. And I think next I'm just going to put a little bit of a light blue in the corner here. Actually, I think I'm going to put a little bit of black on the side here because I almost want the eye to look more rounded. So I'm going to put kind of like a shadow around the eyeball right here and in the corner here. Ooh, that's going to look great. Now the inside of the eye is going to be black, so I'm going to block that in black. And the reflection is white, so I'll have to find a white chalk to put a white little reflection there. Okay, now it's time to blend. I'm going to tap some of this chalk off. Okay, using my clean fingers, I'm going to blend. So I'm blending the blue into the dark green right now, very carefully, just using one finger. Remember, I don't want to blend it so much that they mix together. I'm just kind of fading them into each other. Now, dark green into light green. If I notice that I can see a lot of my black paper, that probably means I didn't use enough chalk. I want to probably put some more chalk down, but so far I think I'm good. Blending the light green to the light blue. And on this side, wow, that looks great. I love how those fade. Now I'm just going to blend the shadow out a bit. Remember in our penguin drawings when we made a shadow around the penguin? This is the same idea. I just want the eyeball to look a little bit more rounded with a shadow, but not too much black, just a little shadow. I'm going to blend the inside now. And then when I blend this, I don't want to use any of these dirty fingers. I'm going to use a clean finger because this is very bright white that we want it to stay. I can even put a few little reflection lines around the eye. Eyeballs are very smooth texture. They have a lot of little reflection light around them. That looks great. I love that. So now what I'm going to do on the outside is I am going to put some texture down now using my white crayon. So if you can see in my dragon eye here, I put a lot of bumpy textures. So I can use that same texture around here, ovals very close together, to show that the eye skin around the eye is kind of bumpy, scaly, like a real dragon would look. I can finish this texture and then I can put a new texture. So let's just say I finished that texture. Let's do a new texture. I want to do kind of like a scaly texture around this part of the eye. So I'm going to do those wavy lines, kind of like big W's put together. I think I want to put like a bumpy texture around here. So I'm going to put some little dots like this. I think I would like to also put like a sharp texture. So I think I'm going to put like some spikes right here. Maybe a hairy texture could be somewhere, like maybe there's some little hairs coming up from the eyelid, like eyelashes. Maybe the skin out here is kind of rough. Maybe I'll do like a crisscross, kind of random, like rough texture somewhere. Maybe he has a scar. This kind of looks like scarred skin right here. And then maybe around here, I'll just do some more random ovals or some scaly, bumpy texture. So it's up to you to figure out how to fill your paper with texture. Again, use your texture worksheet. You don't want a big blank area. You want to fill everything with texture. So let's pretend I filled everything with texture. If I'm done with that, I'm going to use my chalk now and my analogous color worksheet to blend some more analogous colors into the rest of the picture. So we should have color and texture over everything, almost like we're really zoomed into the eye. So I think I'll use some warm textures around the outside now. So I can do some reds here in the bumps. And these are going to be small little areas, so you're going to have to do kind of a lot of coloring here to get this color in and blend it. So I'm just going to do two colors, red and orange for the outside here. And then I'll just carefully blend those colors into each other. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. These are very easy to blend. I don't want to get too smooth and blended because I don't want to blend the colors too much because then I won't see the colors. I just want to blend them a little bit so I can still see. If you look very closely, I can still see the red and orange there. And so I'll do that for the rest of my picture. You can see in my example, I used lots of warm colors on the outside, cool colors on the inside, but it's your choice how you add color to this. All right, let's get started.